All right, let's go back to the Raiders firing. I wake up 10 o'clock. I'd gone to bed early. I see it. Okay, wow, middle of the night. Well, not really out here on the West Coast, but regardless. But then my immediate thought was, and Tom, I haven't gotten a good answer, is if you're going to do it now, I get it, but why don't you do it first thing in the morning when they get off the plane? Why do you let a coach and a GM that you're about to fire 12 hours later handle your trade deadline?
That was unusual, and it was set up, of course, in part by the fact that they had a Monday night game on the road that, they got back from in the early hours of Tuesday morning. Anyone who's known Mark Davis also knows he's not really a morning person. He is an afternoon and evening type of a person. But this is something Mark Davis had been thinking about for quite a while. And quite honestly, when it comes to the trade deadline, Mark Davis didn't want to give up these star players. He wanted to figure out a way to get the most out of these guys and still be competitive because, they're not 0-8 here. They're 3-5. They still got things to play for here. And they feel like between Max Crosby, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, they got some superstars on the roster. Now, you look at the offensive line, it's got a long way to go. You look at the personnel elsewhere. Obviously, you got a quarterback change again this week with Aiden O'Connell back into the lineup. So you have moving parts, but from Mark Davis's perspective, this was not about, okay, fire them, do a fire sale, and move forward. No. I mean, about the only thing that they would have done differently, perhaps, was take Hunter Renfro's salary down to the minimum to be able to get something for him in a trade because other teams were not going to pick up that entire salary. That would have needed to be done Monday prior to the game. So really the cadence of the schedule played into this as much as anything. But make no mistake, this was not knee-jerk. This was not Mark Davis got mad about what happened on Monday night and decided to fire everyone. This is something that had been weighing on his mind for weeks. He had had discussions with players. He had been trying to get a feel for every aspect of the football operation. And ultimately, he decided that change was needed.
I know it has not gone through yet, and it being Tom Brady's official signing of his purchase of minority share. But, Tom, what do you make of the talk, speculation, inference that Tom Brady has Mark Davis's ear in all this?
It's a good question. And I think that Tom Brady is never going to give the accurate answer, at least publicly. Certainly him and Mark have developed a relationship, him buying into the Las Vegas Aces that just won the WNBA title, which is also something that Mark Davis has had on his mind. Hey, he figured out it's a different league, but he figured out how to win a championship there. Why can't he get it right now with the Raiders? In terms of Tom Brady, it's complicated in terms of his ownership stake because you're talking about, number one, the issues that have been made public about what Mark Davis would be selling that portion of the Raiders to Tom Brady for, but also the fact that Tom Brady is under contract with Fox, and it would be an unprecedented situation to have somebody who's a part owner of one team doing production meetings and calling games on other teams. And so there's no certainty at this point that Tom Brady's purchase will ever get through, at least not with some modifications or potential changes to what his role would be at Fox. So this is something to keep an eye on. They didn't vote on it. They didn't discuss it at the October meeting. We'll see if that changes at the December league meeting. Otherwise, you're talking about going through this entire season without that actually becoming final. And if at some point you have to wonder whether, number one, Tom Brady will never become a part owner of the Raiders, or number two, Tom Brady will never actually be in a booth at Fox.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.